Go7 king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7 king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7 king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7.
Hello, hello. Yes, Habits. Yes. Look at this name. DMC_26. Rip _. And there's another one here. Palmer_V1. All of these mess with the queue and Discord. They're making all the words in between these underscores either become italicized or unitalicized. And the underscores aren't recorded. I finally figured out what was happening. I blame all of you. That's okay. Ignoring that. Oh. I do have it. Blame all of you. You don't have an underscore here. Like, blaming you doesn't really see. There's so many others. And happy Friday, everyone. Did we watch this? I think we did see this one. I'm remembering Andy versus Andy. One second. Yeah. We saw all the way down to Broken Blades, right? Let me just check that previous stream. Oh yeah, so we saw the Drake versus Sammy. Yeah. Let's update this list. Updated my chart. This is the one we're starting. Teaching Xanadu. You missed the underscore rant? It was glorious. Blame the underscores. I do blame the underscores. They ruined everything. Why can't people just have normal names? I spent a good long while figuring out the underscore problem. Hello. Good evening. John. Yellow comment. Facing the correct direction. Take off my badge. If Kindle wins this, you will have a new favorite player. This is the last game of yours for a while? Oh no. I mean, Kindle can play at pretty high tiers, depending on the map, and this map does seem to have some really nice property locations. Kindle's a strong seal for sure. We'll see how it goes though. Let's get this order static, please. Cool. To the left, we have a StarDrifter playing as Hawke, and to the right, we have John 5 playing as Kindle. I think I've seen this map before, but I'm not recognizing it. It is a 3 base and an airport. The 2 bases really close to each other, but they do have to go through forests to deploy, while the 1 base doesn't, so it's going to have a little more reach with its vehicles than the 2 base does. I guess this base doesn't have to go through forests to go this way. You think Hawke's going to win this? Which CO do you think pushed that tier boundary the most? I would say Kindle pushes the tier boundary more than any other CO in the game. I would be impressed. Well, Sonja kind of pushes the tier boundary in the negative way. In Fog of War. She's like worse than every tier 3 CO, but she's better than all the tier 4s. In Fog of War, at least. Okay, John moving out. We got the double tank going on here. So, and John's investing in the 2 base side with the vehicles, while StarDrifter's kind of having to be forced to invest in response on the 1 base side. Well, not really forced, but has decided to. And what this means is that the 1 base side is going to have far fewer infantry than it would otherwise. And after losing just a few, it'll be kind of impossible to capture new properties. Because the 2 base side can produce the vehicles and produce infantry. So there's just going to be a far higher infantry count to fight off the 1 base side's infantry. You mainly played against AI on Reboot Camp? Yeah. The AI is much worse than people. Eagle is definitely a monster, yeah. Okay, so we have an interrupt here. Now, I don't think I would go for this interrupt personally, because this city was at 10 capture points left. It has an 8 on it. And it kind of exposes this infantry to being kindled. I do like this tank attack, though. Ooh. Wow, okay. John didn't attack from the city, which I would have expected to kill off that infantry. It has the tanks somewhat exposed, but at the same time, you can see now the 1 base side has a single infantry, and that's a big problem. Because even though these tanks can get some nice attacks over here, they can't do so without standing next to a city, which is really awkward. So this kind of forces, because there's no enough infantry over here anymore. What StarDrifter would love to do is like have the tank go here and here, kill this off, and then have an infantry on this city and infantry on this city to stop them being used against them. But instead, the best option is to like have a tank first strike from here, and then the other tank first strike from here on an infantry. You're like, ugh, that doesn't feel too good because there's still these two other tanks that get involved in this fight, but at least you're not letting the opponent hit from the city. Because if you just go for like the two tank shots here and here, you kill off this tank, and then Kindle hits you from two cities. It just dominates the battle. And then also has infantry that can stand in the way. The reinforcing tank. And that's all because the one base side just doesn't have the infantry count anymore. So yeah, StarDrifter goes in and kills that tank. But yeah, as I was saying, there's nothing that can occupy these cities. So now Kindle can just kind of do a Kindle thing. And, make life pretty miserable. Wow. I mean, this is a mistake for sure. You should definitely attack from the city. They'll do more damage. Capping at 3 isn't a threat for that city. The real threat would be this guy starting the next turn. So you just strike from the city. That could have been worse. I think this tank would have died from the tank shot from the city, and this wouldn't have taken any damage. StarDrifter's going for a sacrifice play over here. But the 4 health lives. That might be Hawke ruining the play because the extra firepower makes it so this guy takes less damage on the retaliation. Okay, we have double tank sack here. I'm not a huge fan of that because as Hawke against Kindle, I don't want to be fighting next to these cities. Like, it's just not good for my tanks. And also, you kind of want to preserve your tanks because you do heal your units. So I think falling back is the only real option there. Sonja might not even attack, probably won't attack from the city, just because you can do 2 tank strikes and then start the capture with a 10 health. That is what we see. Yep, they continue with the 3, which is just going to be slower than capturing with a 10, but that's okay. Black firepower, no joke. We have Urban Blight. Which disrupts some captures, hits some tanks down here. Yeah, the one base side is looking really unhappy. Charge on over here, get some nice hits. We're going to have a Hawke super soon. Sadly, a lot of the tanks that would have benefited from it are dead. You can see Kindle is doing really nicely. At the end of StarDrifter's turn, ahead in unit count by 3. Although it is only 3 in infantry, so the tank count is even. And ahead in income. So John's about half a turn ahead at this point. But also has had an actual power go off. Or StarDrifter hasn't yet. So this is nice. These tanks got injured, but they're not dead. So those will get healed up by the super. And this tank is also injured, but not dead. And then these infantry are attacking up here. That gets a little bit of tank backup. But this does give StarDrifter some targets that didn't exist before. I really don't like these sacrifices. There's no reason to sacrifice here. Definitely hit with the 9 first, and then you can do the infantry and then the 2 health tank. Just because you can actually heal up your units. And the only time you want to go for sacrifices like this is if there's a limited number of tiles you have to attack the unit. In this case, you know, we've got 3 whole tiles. Well, 4. The infantry can even attack from the mountain. So there's no need to do a sacrifice. Oh, congratulations, Advanced Warrior. Okay, ow. Very unfortunate that tank died. I would have just ran away with it. If it survived there, that would have been pretty nice, though. So at this point, it's going to get really tough to fight here, because Pseudo Drifter's is what you call ant trailing into an established position. So John's got like a bunch of units here, and they're just going to constantly fight a single tank, and then they fight a single tank, and then they fight a single tank, and they're always going to trade positively against that tank. Tank comes in, does 6 damage, and then it just like dies. And so the army here builds up more and more and more, and eventually the base will have to tech up to try and survive with just like a lone tech unit against an entire army. So instead, what you do in these situations is you just have to cut your losses. You say like, fine, you get these cities. I'm gonna build up my forces here, so I have more than just one tank attacking at a time. And if you want to move forward, you have to overextend into me. My base will be stronger for that. Of course, it does feel very awkward to just kind of retreat. Another urban blight. Pretty nasty. Let's see this tank. This base is really unhappy. It's kind of forced to build a medium tank at this point. You get the Black Storm, which will help a lot. Off that tank. Really unfortunate that actually the tank could have attacked from here, which would be better. You don't want to be standing next to these properties. Kindle gets such a strong firepower boost. Okay, gonna go with an artillery. That kind of works. If they charge the base, it works, because artillery can stand here and then your production protects it. This will be painful just because Kindle gets the strike from the cities. Smack me. Interesting. Okay, that might work to keep it alive as a wall, although I don't think walling matters that much. As Kindle here, you'd be much better off just moving this infantry off the city and then having the 8 health smack from it. It did survive. Okay. Hit. Start capturing. Okay, I like it. And here comes the medium tank. It's getting forced because there's so much pressure on the one base. Now, John has pushed Pseudo Drifter really far back here, but is actually only 1k up so far. So Pseudo Drifter's not out of the game. Especially if John continues fighting over here, but it looks like we're going to start moving out to fight in the middle and get these captures. It's a pretty bold tank attack here. It does disrupt the capture, but there's no infantry follow-up to this. So the tanks just get to attack here, and then that tank is still forced to attack the infantry instead of another tank. Kindle is definitely overextended at the bottom. Okay, I guess we're going to come down this way. I would have kept the 5 health infantry on the city. Well, I guess it depends on... No, I still would have kept it. Because if you hit capture, you're threatening to take it next turn, and Kindle has to do something about it. And that's either going to be a Kindle Urban Blight, or it's going to have to be an entire tank shot while there's other tanks that could be attacked. You kind of like having a tank on the city because then Kindle can't attack from that city, but at the same time, since there's an Urban Blight coming, the Urban Blight hits a tank and that's not great. Where if it hits a 5 health infantry, you don't really care that much. This tank didn't move at all, which is a little fishy. There's the Urban Blight. We also had the double anti-air response to this copter. That seems a little expensive to me. I would have just built a copter of my own because while Kindle does have really nice copters, Hawke does too. And if as long as Hawke can get the first strike on the Kindle copter, it should work out really nicely since you can heal up the chipped damage. Even if the Kindle copter is sitting on a city. The thing you'd have to worry about is if your copter is ever sitting next to a city, then Kindle's copter can one-shot you. That like about to get captured. That wasn't about to get captured. It was at 14 power or capture points left. So definitely don't bring this tank in here. That just gives Kindle attacks from the city onto a tank on the road. The medium tank does cover it, but the medium tank is going to get scared off by the copter that can attack from the city in response. Okay, now you have the copter. It's good. Well, so you would swap this order unless you're trying to gain more charge. You would just attack from the city because you take less retaliation. Both from having more defense and from an extra 40% firepower. Okay, so this looks pretty nice for... Well, kinda. This tank is the problem. I think you still have to shoot this one, and then the medium tank goes through and takes out this tank. The problem with going the anti-air, double anti-air, is that now that the tank support's kind of taken out, it's really hard to keep it safe from this other tank. Definitely hurts to just let this copter come in here. But I think copter plus infantry, unless John gets an Urban Blight, I think the anti-air is safe. Actually, no, there's a 7 health infantry here. The anti-air is not safe. Okay, the 7 health infantry survives. Very weird to have the tank attack in here. Well, okay. Copter has accepted its fate. It looks like we're going to try at an HQ cap. This is a very weird play. For 2 reasons. One, Hawke already has an own power. It is fairly likely that Hawke can get the superpower. And the other thing is that on board, this gets interrupted just by medium tank attacking here and copter hitting the HQ. And there's nothing over here that deals with a copter or a medium tank. So, a little bit of a sketchy HQ cap. Ooh. And because it's a sketchy HQ cap, you don't actually have to go for the power here, and I wouldn't. Because the super is more valuable. This is a little dicey to move. You don't need to move all this stuff out. Just the copter and medium tank is enough. Is this other stuff, like the medium tank and the copter are essentially invincible to all of these units. This medium tank that just got built. But these guys are not, so the tanks can like dive by. Yeah, that squishy units. Trade out. Hi there, King of the Penguins, first time caller, long time listener. Do you prefer HQ cap games or pure slug out games? I prefer pure slug out games. I prefer games that are ended by capture, by just getting 2/3 of the properties or over 2/3. Yeah, the tanks are going to get to attack in here. This one didn't move for some reason, just accepted its fate. I don't know why this guy's sitting on me. I guess it wants to heal up, but it's not a safe place to heal unless the copter blocks them. Okay, so I mean it's not a huge deal, but reverse the attack order here. Copter hits first, then the tank hits, because a 2 health tank does like nothing to a copter, and it took a whole health off of this tank. Didn't move into range. Ooh, we barely live. Love to see it. John resigns after not killing that tank. Now, StarDrifter definitely stabilized against the HQ cap. John went way too deep for that. But John was doing really well in that game until it was just a little bit too much committed to the overextension there. GG. That was a brutal game. You really got to see how unit starved that one base side can get. Rip. You've literally been playing the game of the year against Voice of Akasha and you never told? I have not seen that game. I imagine it'll get submitted to me. Got Daddymacsac versus Benchwarmer. Guess it doesn't matter which way they face. Sure. Just played this map, it's pretty cool. No longer blue against blue. Got Adder versus Jake. It's a mixed base. Away we go. You start with an airport, which always makes me want to go for a transport copter opening, but that's probably not too good on this map because it's a transport copter opening on the one base, which is already vulnerable to being rushed down with vehicles and just becomes more vulnerable when you invest in a transport copter. But we'll see how that all plays out. This seems like a really sketchy city to go for Benchwarmer, because this base has a really hard time getting a vehicle over here. There's a mountain here, and you have to go through a forest, around a mountain, through another forest. So if this base builds a vehicle, I don't know how you protect this city. And losing one of your early game cities that you captures that you go for is really, really bad. Now there is the double base up here, which might be able to just get down here fast enough to save the city. But if I was Daddymacsac here, I'd be like, oh, huge vulnerability. I'm going to start marching infantry over to there to capture it and bring some vehicles. Not sure what this mech was built for. With a copter. Copters are really good on mixed base because there's so many different fronts to pressure and make an anti-air get built. There's one anti-air. You know, probably understand how this works. Anti-air gets built here. And it was a base skip anti-air too. So where does the copter go? It doesn't go over here. It just goes up here. It's going over here a bit. I wouldn't go over here. I would go straight up. Okay. You have a mech backing up this infantry, which makes this anti-air a little sad. Another mech. Is an adder mech, which is not nothing. You have a tank falling up this top. The Jake mech. The mech was built from the furthest away base. It's gonna take forever. Copter starts moving on out, and here's that vulnerable city being attacked. You can see Daddymacsac did not try and go for this. The Benchwarmer took it, but because Daddymacsac didn't go for the capture, it didn't actually hurt Daddymac's own economy. We dive on in here. The anti-air is in tank range, but now the artillery is covering the spot that the tank would attack from. Which is pretty cute, although we do have a copter here that could hit this artillery. But I mean, this anti-air is on a forest, so it would survive the tank attack. A pretty decent amount of health. Okay. We're gonna go for the... Oh, okay, never mind. We're just gonna go for tank hit on the artillery. That works too. Have the copter do something else, like save the comm tower. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. The mech's moving on out. A bunch of infantry. Tank copter seems good. This copter's nicely set up for if Daddymacsac gets a power, it can just come up here and finish off the comm tower capturer. Infantry get beat up. Recon going for smacks. Anti-air runs away down to the mech area. There isn't a... We currently have a successful little mech chain here, which can be annoying to deal with. So you do get to attack that mech, but then there's a mech to back it up. You have to find a way of disrupting the mech chain to get some really profitable pickoffs there, either by like using infantry as blockers, like a copter in the way, that kind of thing. Now for most COs, this situation would mean that you would no longer have a mech chain. This mech is 3 away from this one, but adder gives that +1 movement, so it's still on the cards. Hello everybody. Do have the side slip here. Moving out, just make sure you don't move into anti-air range. Decides to go for a smack on that anti-air. I'm not sure if that's the best move. I mean, it's a fine move, but does mean that you're not going to have a mech chain next turn, which is kind of sad. But hitting the anti-air is also nice because now there's nothing here that's super threatening to copters. Looks like we've pretty much sorted out this area for Jake, and this base is also now under some serious threat. It kind of has to build an anti-air, otherwise these two just swing in and clear whatever's on there. Or heal up this anti-air also. As long as something can't get in the way. A little bit to build up. So this is kind of what I was saying about, you don't want ant trail. Benchwarmer is not going to just send these units straight down. Let them build up first. They can support each other. Okay, huge little infantry fights over here. The recon coming to disrupt this will be really strong. You have, again, under threat. You have the... I guess we're not going to do the double copter attack. Don't know what's going on here. It might have been just a little bit of a mistake having this copter hit from this tile, which that blocked the other one. Or it's just trying to make it... This doesn't work. These two tanks kill this tank. I don't know. It seems like a weird play. It's okay to just have one copter swing here and you're like, the anti-air has to now block the base. But now, like, this copter going here means the anti-air has a hit there. I don't know, that was really weird. Benchwarmer gets the Supa. Zooming on in here. The vehicle's built a recon. I don't know if I would have used the super there. It only hit with 3 vehicles. That's not that much value out of a super. It also exposes the anti-air over here. A little weird. Nice, come in here. Ooh, recon gets blocked with 2 health infantry. That's really annoying. Anti-air gets popped. I assume this anti-air dies. I don't know what this copter doesn't need to do anything over here. Got the 2 tanks to kill this anti-air, and then the copters come up here. Very disruptive. Okay. Attacks, I guess. Fine. Artillery is here just in time to save the comm tower. That Jake mech does get to attack, and from a mountain. Very nice. Tanks get first struck. They're doing like fine, I'd say. Artillery wards that unit off. A pretty brutal vehicle fight over here, and just an a low health infantry brawl on this side. Benchwarmer is up by 2k right now, which is pretty nice. Although that will all end if this gets captured. Did this recon not do anything? This recon waited. The recon should definitely have killed the infantry at least, or the 1 health copter. Oh, did it hit the copter? Oh, it did. Okay. Probably should have killed the infantry. Or you could delete it, I guess. I don't think deleting it's any good. You just killed me. Why do you keep not moving to lock the base? I mean, it's a little dangerous to move out. Oh, you're talking about this one. This one is threatening a base. Okay, we have the little mech swarm moving in on this base. Now the recon's really unhappy. Is this a wait, oh no, it's double lab. It's double lab. Fine, although it kind of looks like both of these labs could fall. Very embarrassing. Yeah, so I don't know what that was. I guess this guy's gonna come in. Benchwarmer should definitely move over to this forest and lock the base. The Benchwarmer is very confident that Daddymacsac not going to get the power and just use the 2 infantry to kill this infantry, and then the tank hits the artillery, I guess. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this choice. So we do have to delete the recon and build a medium tank. All very awkward. Daddymacsac. Some nice captures. Gets a huge econ lead here. Also can kind of threaten to just win really quickly. I don't like attacking this medium tank. I'm fine with just keeping it pinned in and letting the base do nothing. Have the side slip. We get to hit that artillery. Probably should build something a little stronger than a tank here. Medium tank, for instance. I'm not sure why we just stopped going for the lab capture here. Yeah, that was a pretty scary threat because this lab is very quick to fall. While these 2 labs look still very defendable. So you could just end the game that way. Benchwarmer not looking too happy. We do get the beat down. You think it's a copter. Infantry? Oh! To clear. Smackety smack. Bunch of tanks go down over here, which is really nice. Benchwarmer, and there are some infantry to follow it up. Yeah, Daddymacsac attacking into those mechs. And then perfectly. Okay, so yeah, I think this infantry has to go for this interrupt. The weak copters are going to be nice against these. Okay, this is much better. Just have your 2 health infantry base lock, essentially, or base block. It's the artillery. Hopefully we do get something a little bit beefier built. I guess you can't. Well, it just builds an infantry. Wow. Because this base does need a lot of support right now. It's gonna get hit by a whole bunch of first strikes. Get taken out by infantry. Oh, it lives at 1. Okay. A little bit of a front shift over to this base. It did just build a lone infantry, which is not the most intimidating defense force, for sure. The centralized copters here are going to be very nice for Daddymacsac. Oh. Daddymacsac gets the clear on the base, but doesn't have an infantry in range. But there's a 1 health copter that can stand on it while infantry gets in range. That was a pretty nice clear. Finishes off the tank. There's the medium tank. Can get blocked in. Would be pretty sad. So we do need these supporting units to be able to come over and break any lock. Ooh, just straight up base skip 1k in the bank. That interrupts the capture. We have another beatdown. Allow for some attacks over here. The anti-air actually leaves this fight, which is definitely a choice. I guess it's still covering this spot, and that's what matters because the copter's going to come up to help disrupt this infantry block. There's always an infantry sacrifice into copter that might do it. One capping there. They're just going to straight up take out that anti-air too. After these tanks. Mechs start moving out. Nice little copter block. The mech's going to be the one that captures the base. Okay. Ooh. Threat at the comm tower capture, but it looks like it's preventable. Very awkward situation here. Just have the 3 health infantry sacrifice in, and then you don't have this weird attacking. This is looking nice for Daddymacsac. I don't like up 7k income. Not about to lose to lab captures. Ooh, we have a and up a base now. We have a bunch of joins. A bunch of joins down to 13 units. Ah, for a pipe runner. There's the resign. GG. Well played, well played. Oh, hello, it's Kindle. Is this a live game? Because it's seraphesque. No live game. It's a bit of a big map for a live game. Moonwalking black boats. This is Global League? Okay. I cannot see the messages on the replay. Alright. Away we go. Since it would be very spicy if StarDrifter brought an infantry down here before going for the neutral base. It could even be good, but it would take a lot of calcing out. It would be very fancy. But that's not what we do. StarDrifter is going to the neutral base first, as is the traditional play. And Sarapes is going to go for the tank first. StarDrifter goes for the artillery first. Now, the artillery first is kind of risky to go for, not because you get, like, you're not like you're going to lose the artillery, but because it is an opening that is 100% revealed to your opponent in just 2 turns, because it moves over here, assuming this is what it was built for. It moves over here and shoots a pipe seam, and pipe seams are universal knowledge. Everyone sees the pipe seam health. So that would give Seraphesque a ton of information, such as knowing there's no tank out there, there's no recons incoming, so you just can attack whatever you want, knowing that that first unit was both an artillery and it's still at home. It looks like that's exactly what it's doing. As you can see, StarDrifter does not have enough money to even build a tank here. So at this point, Seraphesque should well, not yet, but next turn, when it sees the shot here, should just beeline it to wherever there is infantry and attack with vehicles. You were very confused when you went to capture the city and it was already taken. Yeah, that seems like an odd choice to rush a capture for. And this is, as I was saying before, you really, really, really don't want to have your early game captures be cities that you immediately lose. Because you could have captured like any other city that doesn't go to your opponent, and then your opponent still captures this city, but you don't lose income. So this like nullifies a huge chunk of your capture game to lose it. Oh my gosh, that's so painful. This Blackbook has 14 fuel. It doesn't have a harbor right now, so it cannot make an if it goes for another round trip, it both won't be able to make it and it will sink. So that's really bad. So yeah, at the end of StarDrifter's turn at 11k to 10k, then loses the city. Now is ending Seraphesque's turn at 10k to 12k, and that matters a lot because StarDrifter doesn't get the income off of that city until the end of Seraphesque's turn. So effectively ended the turn at 10k. Already falling behind the capture game a bit. Although jumping all the way up to 15 is pretty nice. And again, though, this city is not safe. You can StarDrifter should probably be able to tell that this city is not safe because StarDrifter themselves is capturing this city. Now, I would say that Seraphesque should really try and not get units trapped. And I saw where that infantry went, but I guess not. It's not a huge deal though. Drake isn't Kindle, so like you would hit here, but there's follow-up infantry to deal with. Yeah, this poor black boat is just stuck here until this harbor gets captured. Do you have any lessons for someone used to doing FFAs and 2v2s that wants to get better at 1v1? No. I'm not quite sure what does it mean to have the mentality of doing FFAs and 2v2s. The main things for getting better at 1v1 is making sure that you're following the classic capture pattern of inside out. You just kind of capture all of the properties as you come across them to get as much money as early as possible, and then you also want to have all of your units covered by units that can defend them. So have them in like this tank is not covered, but it's hiding in the forest, so that's okay. Like this tank is covered by this artillery, although it doesn't need to be covered this far forward. You'll see later in the game what I'm talking about. That's because they're Fred black boats. Just that's part of being a Fred black. StarDrifter ending the turn pretty happy in income, actually, despite losing the city. I don't think that's going to maintain for long. We're gonna run away, and this city has a huge target on its head. There's just no way to defend this. Sarapes does manage to end pretty much even economically. We should be ahead by half a turn in income. Looking about where we should be. Which is probably bad for Drake on this map, because you would expect to have an economic lead after with the faster block. Is Stitch Monster based off of Scavenger? It does look like it's based off of Scavenger. Scavenger is the map that is my least favorite fog map. It's a fine map, I just don't like it. Looks like StarDrifter is going to try and defend this by just walking infantry at it. Seraphesque, you really need to scout before you walk onto these cities. You were so lucky that you are the Kindle and it's not reversed. Okay, decide to kill off this infantry rather than disrupting both captures. I'm okay with that. I tend to favor the unit count advantage over the economic advantage. Games. Not that I necessarily always go for that choice myself, even if I should. Oops. This is classic top fog play. You know, you go for the vision as the very last unit you move. Okay, and then it dies, which is this tank is revealable, although there's not that much backup over here. Here we go. Somehow this infantry is escaping completely unscathed. Vision only matters if you're hitting things. Don't you have more recons than StarDrifter? StarDrifter has no recons. You have a recon. You can't talk about that. What is this? This is a weird play. I mean, I personally would assume that this stuff is like very well guarded and I would not want to be standing on a shore. But having seen a tank next to a forest, I'm like, I might go for that. Although going for it would be painful for me. Personally, I would have expected our artillery here with this setup. Doesn't look like that's the case, so it's okay. Black mode does now get refilled. Moving out. Seraphesque defending this capture. StarDrifter trying to insist on it. You have a pretty nice attack here. Kills off that tank. Some decent walling for the anti-air. You kind of need the transport copter in it. I mean, I guess it's fine when you have enough tanks guarding it. Clearing this would be nice. Like this infantry. This is a Kindle that StarDrifter's against, so the city can't be used to hit this tank. I'd love to clear and stand on it, but I guess that's not an option. Instead, making sure that this city can't be used. Yeah, I get it. Go7 question mark? If recons were abandoned fog games with barely any mountains, would missiles ever be viable? No. Missiles are too slow. Oh, yeah, the artillery... Artillery moving over here is definitely a little weird. I think it's just to stop the capture, though. Which isn't bad. Quite the dive forward. Get the anti-air, copter, get the capture. Smack the urban blight. Stops these captures, which is pretty nice. I don't know if it was needed over there, but if it stops like 2 captures, like that you wouldn't stop otherwise, then that's a very good urban blight. It also hits this tank, which is nice. How do you see that? Ooh, interesting. Instead of finishing off this tank, it kills off this infantry. Well, StarDrifter timing that very nicely to build this after the Urban Blight. We'll see if it's any good. It's going to be very unfortunate that the battleship gets built and then these cities don't get stopped with the captures. Upgrade doing his job. The black boats, or not the black boat, the battleship's a huge investment. Very, very pricey. You do get to build it on the front lines-ish, which is very nice. But there's currently not that much air support for it, and that's something it's always going to be worried about. Even just getting swarmed with copters is dangerous. Ooh, very nice. The recon spots the battleship right away. There's a couple ways to deal with a battleship buy. Guess you can build your own battleship. I don't think that's a great answer. Kind of fine. You can either be like, oh, I'm just gonna go buy like a bomber and kill that battleship, or you can just attack where that battleship isn't, because it's very limited to its range. And I guess building your own battleship is kind of just attacking where the battleship isn't. Except you won't be able to then like swing over and kill the battleship with it. Basically. Well, I mean, the Sarapes battleship is a Kindle battleship on a harbor, and it's already got a target. So you can't complain too much there. For some reason, this battleship did not fire on any of these targets, so far it has accomplished nothing. Either that or I just missed it. Like a glitch or something. Okay, it stepped off the harbor. It's now, I mean, it does control this spot now. Well, Drake doesn't boost battleship damage. If you don't know, battleships attack for as much as a rocket against land units. It's a pretty strong smack. Doesn't kill the tank, though. But because battleships attack for as much as rockets, you can bluff that you have a rocket instead of a battleship. Or vice versa, I guess. So StarDrifter might not think this was a battleship attack. Might think it was a rocket from this city. Jess and Eagle, they can't make those same bluffs, though. Because their battleships do less than I'm gonna assume. Well, I guess it's fine. It's just helicopter with the typhoon. Damage, pop, 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 pop. Does make it harder for StarDrifter to see what hit. Okay, I'm gonna assume that StarDrifter is not thinking that this is a rocket on this city, because otherwise it's a very sketchy move. And just assume that there's another battleship. Okay, so far this battleship has not fired. So, it's a very unhappy battleship. Do have the Urban Blight. Battleship did expertly dodge it. There's a huge vision problem going on here. Can't see this tank, and infantry might just stumble into it though, and then the artillery fires. Here's what happens. Smacks tank. There's like no anti-air out here for StarDrifter. Proving to be very bad. And also this battleship is now have to be babysat by some anti-air. I don't know why StarDrifter keeps moving in. Well, this battleship moves down, so it no longer guards this spot. But it still guards the city, so and stuff keeps dying when it moves onto that city, so I don't know why StarDrifter is still moving stuff there. Get cleaned up. More infantry get brought up there. I think the battleship did fire on an infantry, so we got some value. Battleship isn't real if I can't see it. Battleship takes another kill. Arguably, you wait on this. I mean, it would be nice to kill the artillery. Over here, you probably just fall back rather than hitting this infantry, just because you know that Drake has that pipeline with the black boat, so there's well, actually you see follow-up infantry, so there's no real reason to hit this. Just preserve the infantry. This is where Seraphesque is really sad that the battleship fired here rather than revealing the forest, shooting that and having the copter kill the tank. Once he does fall, Seraphesque is actually pretty nicely ahead in income. There's no reason to join cap this. It actually just loses a unit count. Well, unless you're expecting to be hit by like this. You're definitely not expecting it because okay, I guess StarDrifter's like, well, I'm already sending the anti-air into range of the battleship, although I don't think the battleship's been revealed. But it should be clear that there's a battleship, just given the fact that StarDrifter assumes there isn't a rocket here, and there was stuff doing rocket damage in the city. And moving more units into its range. I mean, you can only shoot one of them, I guess. It's fine. Okay, Seraphesque is down a lot in unit count at the end of that turn. Ooh, decides not to shoot the anti-air. Just one-shots the tank instead. Nice little pick off over here, too. We have nice artillery covering the copter. I do like those plays. This copter gets trapped. I don't know what it was trying to do. Is it just trying to kill this 3 health infantry? Okay. Ending the turn even in unit count. So StarDrifter's doing somehow fine in unit count. Oh, battleship does get a kill. Shot a lot of infantry. Okay. Hiding out from this copter. This anti-air is going to be really sad. StarDrifter needs to be building way more anti-airs. So in Fog, you want to have an anti-air per front, but you also want to usually have an anti-air on the way to the front as well. So that if you lose your anti-air, such as when you move it onto the most forward position on that front, you don't get blindsided with no anti-air for second turn. Here comes the Urban Blight. Actually hit quite a few vehicles here. Pop. Anti-air. The repair on the on the battlecopter is very cute. Back. Charging forward with this anti-air. I was not expecting that. I thought this anti-air was going to go finish off this guy. I can only assume the Sarapes did not know about this tank. Anti-air, it's pretty painful. Although, Drake doesn't have any copters, so it's not really... We're living at 1. Battleship gets another hit on an infantry. So far, it's only shot infantry, I'm pretty sure. Where this battleship just keeps getting vehicle hits. It might be that StarDrifter is not watching the replays. And when you don't do that, you're like, I don't know what killed that unit. Something killed that unit. It's like the good old days of the old interface, where they would turn on the old interface and then they would just have a Neo tank running around one-shotting your units, and on your screen lights are just going out every turn. You never know what killed them. So Seraphesque loaded multiple infantry into this black boat, but unless this game is really old, which for Seraphesque I highly doubt, they did actually patch the game so that you can no longer heal units inside black boats. Although they do dodge the Typhoon. Typhoon goes off. Battleship still invisible. This black boat is down to 1 HP, so it'll be very easy to clear. This is a super dodge, okay. Pop. There's the tank. I mean, you can't argue with results like this. It's definitely been one of the more valuable battleships I've ever seen. Seraphesque being a punk and going straight for this exposed comm tower. StarDrifter very boldly going for these captures. If you go for these captures, I'm not against going for these captures. If you go for these captures, though, you need to make sure you have no vehicles on properties or near properties, because this heavily incentivizes Seraphesque to use the power to you know, stop the captures. So don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put the recon there. Don't put the tank there. Don't put your black boat on the harbor this turn. Even this is a little bit dangerous. Just because it's a 1 health. Soon to be like minimum HP. Black boat. Yeah, did way more damage than it should have. Yep. Battleship gets another kill on the vehicle. Okay. It's looking really, really annoying. Luckily for StarDrifter, Seraphesque did not put the copter here. I don't know if the copter could have reached there, but that would have been really difficult to deal with. The comm tower would have just been taken. A lot of these turns were semi-live. Did he see the battleship? Did I miss? Oh, he does see the battleship. Seraphesque get the... Seraphesque did fire again, though, even with the battleships. Okay, we do break through here. Up all these captures, a very nice tank attack. Interrupt the comm tower capture, although it's at that very annoying amount where it's at 4 and the guy's at 2 health, so you still have to follow up. Finish him off next turn. Battleship kills off another infantry. Tank was just hidden in the woods long enough. The super unfortunate anti-air. It spots the tank after the battleship fires, and it spots the tank next to a copter it could have killed. Okay, we have a nice artillery shot. Now the battleship has no targets for a turn. Just retreat and preserve. I like it. I think we're going to retreat over here. Blackboat's going to sink soon. Unless you build an APC. Nice reveal. I think the city will fall, which will give StarDrifter the econ lead. The city is uncaptured and covered by 2 battleships, so I guess it'll probably never get captured. StarDrifter is definitely not watching what's happening, because this artillery shot should make this move never happen. Neo tank is on its way to this front. We did dive in, of course, on this battleship. It decided, I don't think the battleship wants to attack here, because there's so many other units that can take out this anti-air. Got like a tank here, this tank is. This guy doesn't cover. The battleship should probably just shoot the tank up here. Nice breakthrough to attack from the HQ. I would have liked this being killed quite a lot more. Okay. This artillery is kind of covering the medium tank. Oh, this battleship's almost out of ammo. Seraphesque stepped off of the harbor to help cover the medium tank. Yeah, there's nothing covering the HQ. It will urban blight the Neo tank, but I mean, that's definitely worth it for StarDrifter. If that tank was gone, though, that wouldn't have been possible. Almost have a Drake Super. You have a... Oh, this is not what you want. Okay, so this is a little bit of a trap. Depends. It depends on why StarDrifter buys the 3 recons. If you buy the 3 recons because you actually need them for the vision, might be the case. I don't think 3 is needed. then that's a fine play. But if you're building 3 recons, there's another recon there. If you're building 3 recons because you're expecting an urban blight and you want to dodge it, the repair costs, this is going to like hurt your tempo a lot. 3 recons when you already have 2 recons isn't going to help you win fights. And sure, you pay less in repairs, but you don't have any real reinforcements happening for an entire turn. So it's one of those, like, it feels like a big brain play, but it actually hurts you more than just paying a little bit more in repair costs actually does. Especially if Seraphesque doesn't even use the power. Then you just hurt your reinforcements, and then you're still going to be on the, like, paying the bill, assuming you next turn actually invest all the saved money. Battleship couldn't hit me. It was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, Battleship got to shoot a vehicle. Diving in. No respect for this artillery. No respect. The Typhoon. Typhoon does some big damage. We do kill off this artillery, which is nice. And luckily for StarDrifter, the battleship went back onto the harbor. Doesn't cover this spot. Out go the recons. Now we have triple tank. 16k in the bank. 16k in the bank is a lot, I think. Do have the urban blight. This time StarDrifter did a pretty good job of not giving free damage with it. See, ship steps off. Yeah, harbor. Doesn't fire this turn. Ooh, the Neo tank can't reach because it's the planes. That was a very daring attack. The when it's raining, the wheeled and treaded vehicles spend an extra movement point. It just no, I think it's fine. Still have 7k in the bank. Usually, if there's an ongoing fight, you don't want to be banking cash unless you're going to retreat into really teched up reinforcements, because that's money that could be, you know, fighting for you, especially if you floated it for a really long time. Recon kill. Oh, the Neo tank kills off the black boat. Dropping stuff out of that transport copter. This is because Seraphesque is kind of running low on infantry, and if you don't have infantry, you run into a whole bunch of problems. You can't capture properties, although very nice for StarDrifter to get this one. You can't capture properties. You have a much harder time scouting. You can't step on mountains, and infantry are your most expendable unit to send forward and check for stuff. And you also can't really block very well. There's so many roles that the infantry is needed for. And that's why you have this, like, late game transport copter being built. There's one red black boat still standing. Okay, this is a pretty daring play by StarDrifter, just because this Neo tank should have been known about. And so it's going to get a really strong hit here. And then the tank follow-ups can go after the artillery. Like so. So very nicely done. From Blight doing its thing. Now, traditionally in this matchup, you would expect Drake to be kind of winning by this point. And Drake Super has been doing some nice stuff. But Urban Blight doesn't scale very well. Because the number of properties that you can attack from is the same throughout the whole game, essentially. And your opponent, as the game goes on, isn't going to be placing all of the units on the cities to get hit by the Urban Blight. So the amount of damage Urban Blight does doesn't usually scale that well with your opponent's army, where Drake Super scales perfectly with your opponent's army. In this case, the Urban Blight actually hit the battleship. Yeah, Pipe Runners are supposed to get buffed by Jake, but there's a bug that has yet to be fixed. Oh, this Blackboard's gone. Breakthrough. Okay, moving forward. HQ is definitely under some serious threat here. StarDrifter, he started cranking out some. His artillery paying its dues, making sure it's protecting somewhat the HQ of a city and the comm tower. Battleship gets another tank kill. Not rushing the HQ, I like it. You can lose a lot of games by just like overextending on the HQ, failing to get the capture. StarDrifter does have 2 black boats in the back. Built another one for some reason. That's an interesting buy. Must have been anticipating really, really heavy infantry deployments down here. Now there are 2 of them. Yes, I don't know why StarDrifter went back onto this harbor. 9 health battleship is still forced to be reckoned with. They want to pay another 2,800 to give it 1 more hit point. Although StarDrifter has been banking a lot, so yeah, that is mighty sketchy Neo placement right next to the HQ. It gets scouted immediately, and then they hit from the HQ with another Neo. The punish was instantaneous. Battleship gets another hit. Not even goes down. Very satisfying to get 1 hit, or have 1 health units get kills. StarDrifter does dive in to kill that copter, and then pops the super. You can see as the army scales, super does so much damage that basically 190,000 value goes all the way down. There's like it does like 40,000 damage by just clicking a button. It's mighty good, although really diving in deep. So we get these kills. The double black boat going on here. Threats does start going for this comm tower, and it looks like it's probably going to just happen. Battleship is going to get another attack off here. Because these units have dove so far forward, they should just get picked off pretty easily. That is exactly what happened. And the Neotech has taken up that spot, which makes defending the comm tower almost impossible. I haven't seen a single air unit besides a transportcopter be built by StarDrifter. Ooh, the artillery did get shoved out of this forest. So StarDrifter's going to try and take this comm tower. But there's no infantry, there's no vehicle backup for this. So I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, I would recommend still building at least some Drake Air. It's especially still amazing when you use your super. Yeah, T-copters can load onto mountains on the cartridge too. But it takes extra movement to load onto them. We have an urban blight. Here, outside of the battleship's range. Kill off that recon. Looks like we're not going to dive in. It does look very intimidating. Wow, that's a bold copter. I don't. What did it kill? 9 health tank. I do not like. I mean, I say this all the time in other people's games, but I make this mistake all the time. I do not like sending copters forward. In fights, because they just get picked off. Of course, I do it all the time. But don't worry, when I do it, I say to myself, this is a bad play. And then I still do it. So, I'm there with you. Okay, StarDrifter builds another battleship. This one covers the HQ. Now, Sarapes doesn't know about this one yet, so it might get a good shot off. It's possible that Sarapes could just predict that there's going to be a battleship. Oh, it's going to get at least a shot on a medium tank on planes. Looks like it's going to get a shot at a neo tank on the planes, maybe. That would be pretty good. That is what it's going to get. Artillery's back hanging out in these woods. They get repaired slowly but surely by this black boat. More vision there. Battleship choosing its the best target. It does shoot the neo tank. It's not this isn't that big of a deal to Seraphesque. I mean, it looks like a big deal. The battleship shoots a neo tank, but Seraphesque dove this neo tank in. I think Seraphesque kind of expected this neo tank to die. So when the turn comes around and the neo tank's dead, assuming it's going to die when the 5 health neo tank hits here, there will be no shock on Seraphesque's face. Oh wow, okay. There's going to be shock on Seraphesque's face because the neo tank's alive. I don't know what StarDrifter's thinking with keeping this guy here. You don't want to go for repairs against Kindle when it's very possible for like an urban blight to show up. It's very possible that an urban blight happens. A little weird to have a medium tank kill a 3 health tank. Because this guy... Spot it right now. I think there's a few misplays going on here for Seraphesque. One, the vision happens. I do this all the time too. And it's bad when I do it too. The vision happens after you've done everything in the area. kind of gives you the only, and there was also like attacking the medium tank instead of the tank, which kind of makes it your only option is to retreat at that point with your remaining units. Where it would have been a pretty sick Urban Blight get if it would have been. Okay. Battleship does get off the harbor and thanking its lucky stars. Neotank stayed on the cities. StarDrifter has no fear. I guess what StarDrifter's thinking is, I have a battleship here, and Seraphesque is just going to run away for several turns until they're able to come up with a solution. And if that's happening, then Seraphesque is not going to be gaining any charge. So here Seraphesque is just too scared of the battleship. If there's a whole bunch of targets for you, which in this case Seraphesque somehow doesn't see any of them, but if there's a whole bunch of targets for you, like who cares if the battleship shoots you once if you kill 5 things? Yeah, Seraphesque can kill the battleship. The plan is to use it. Okay. StarDrifter, no fear. Just preparing everything. Even like incentivizes Urban Blight sort of there. Not a ton. So what I imagine Seraphesque is thinking is either hop an Urban Blight, have Bomber hit from the harbor, or you go for High Society. That way. Okay, so these Neotanks managed to heal up against Kindle, which is impressive, to say the least. Oh, and the Urban Blight hits. Why is the Urban Blight being used this turn? But it hits right as the Neotanks step off of cities. Is it just used to kill a tank? I don't like that Urban Blight. It's gonna be really painful too. It's gonna be Urban Blight and then you get hit by a Drake super in return. Wow, Drake is way down in units. Typhoon. You can do like 60,000 damage or something. Close, like 50,000 damage. Yeah. I don't know what was up with that Urban Blight. It definitely got kind of punished. But Sarapes still has a massive unit count lead. When they just picked Sammy. I mean, I don't know if Sammy would reach this board state, but in this board state, Sammy would be amazing. Another bomber. Keep breaking in with the bomber. Battleship got knocked down to 6. StarDrifter is now scared to do the repairing on cities, I guess. We're going to build a boat. It's either that or we're going to try and go for those hyper repairs where you have your battleship on the harbor and you surround it with 4 black boats. You heal at 6 HP a turn. our 2 bombers. Bombers lined up on the battleship, but you do see the anti-air also covering. There's nothing currently. Build this up. StarDrifter dives in. Heads with the battleship. It is black boat for hyper speed repairs on the battleship. This is a very pricey battleship for what it's done. Oh, we've got one over here. This one makes a little more sense, because the harbor itself is a weakness for this battleship. You could just have an infantry standing on it, though. The black boat, I mean, he's replacing the one that got sunk over here, so that's fine. The double black boats over here, I have no idea. Kill off this recon. Here, that same artillery in the woods to shoot a Neo tank. Happy days. You clear off HQ. Bust through here. Not a recon that can get some vision. Yes, I can. So if you're looking at where this recon can move, and you're like, oh man, I really want to check this wood and these woods, just send the recon there. Okay, busting in. And at this point, Seraphesque has come to understand, wait a second. If when I attack, I kill everything, it does not matter if the battleship shoots me. It hits one thing, and everything on my opponent's side is dead. Oh no, the artillery! The artillery might be sacrificing itself to delay a capture on this comm tower. Oh no, we can always just... The bomber is just out of range of attacking from the harbor. That's okay. One cap here. Spicy. We have... I assume this must be StarDrifter trying to go for the big brain play to pay less repair costs. But this does mean that both of these fights are going to have the reinforcement of 3 infantry. There's the Urban Blight. It does disrupt some pretty valuable captures. So the recon even sees the damage here. The bomber. Oh no, the starting artillery is sacrificed. It did such a good job. Kill that off. Bomber hits battleship for a decent chunk of damage. Surprisingly, StarDrifter... Okay, never mind. StarDrifter gets overcharged by quite a bit. I was going to say it doesn't get overcharged by that much, but then... So this is, you know, a decent threat, to say the least. We have an HQ capture. It's very well guarded, and there's lots of excess infantry to go for the joins. StarDrifter can only interrupt this with battleship and the Supa, so that's what we see. Like a 60 damage... Yeah, about 60,000 damage. Super. Otherwise known as not bad. We have another battleship built. I like it. Serious desperation plays. Black boat could have repaired this before it fired for a little more damage. Okay, let's rewind some more. Makes sense. Okay. Oh, Seraphesque does stop the bomb tower capture, and the bomber can hit this battleship if it desires. One cap HQ, and then just pop a new the battleship. Probably should just kill the anti-air. Doing, I guess, 1 damage here makes it less likely that HQ gets stopped. I don't think HQ getting stopped really matters. Like, you'll win either way. But you'll win harder. Oh, it doesn't stop now. You win harder if there's no units around. There's... Seraphesque not just capturing immediately, goes for the kill as much as possible before doing so. The battleship breaks through here and then takes the HQ with HQ cap victory. BM alert, and I know. That's a lot of battleships. I think the first battleship up here by StarDrifter was actually pretty good. I didn't really like this battleship. It didn't end up doing that much. I didn't like Seraphesque's battleship over here, but StarDrifter did just kind of keep fighting into it, so it turned out good. Yeah, the Kindle battleship ended up doing a lot of damage. Now, this is the one that was built first. A lot of battleships. I can get one more game in. Advanced Warrior versus Humida in live. Sonja versus Grimm in standard. That's true. That battleship did about as much as 2 Drake Super. It's good. It was good. Right, Advanced Warrior. Ooh, you can be what? Humida. His yellow color. I don't know why you're playing as Sonja versus in live. I would definitely favor this to Grimm, although I guess it makes Sonja's super even stronger because Grimm's got the lower defense. But Sonja's passive kind of sucks for day to day. She does 50% more damage on counterattacks, which sounds really nice because it's plus 50% damage. But since it's on counterattacks, you're hitting back at really low amounts of health. So the amount of extra damage you actually do tends to be rather low. And Grimm does more damage to you, so that kind of... You know, like, Grimm's got less defense, so the counterattacks will be even more effective. But since he hits you even harder, probably a wash. Might be terrain dependent. Sonja does, if we want, we can turn on the question mark health, but we're not going to. Sonja does have question mark health, so that the game doesn't tell you how much health her units have when you're the opponent, which can be annoying, but you can also just deduce how much health her units have based on how much charge you get. So, for instance, and how much charge she gets, because that's also known information. So, for instance, you get 50% charge for the value you do in damage. So, we killed a whole recon, so Humida has 2,000 charge. If we had killed half of a recon, It would show a question mark HP, so you wouldn't know, but you would have 1,000 charge, so you would know. Very nicely done by Humida to use the tank, cover the tank. Not sad. The tank can go in, but it will die in the exchange, so it just stands here. It is covering the airport. It has an artillery covering it, so it's okay-ish. But this infantry is super dead. Let's see what Humida decides to do. Have a nice on attack. Yeah. Smack, and then tank stands on the city. Might have required another tank buy down here by Humida. Maybe. I guess it's really 2, 5, 6. I think it does require another tank buy. Because Advanced Warrior can attack with the tank, cover it with an artillery, and then cover the artillery with a tank on buy. You just don't quite have enough vehicles to deal with all that. But there's also the chance that Advanced Warrior just gets unlucky and the tank attack is garbage. And I guess Advanced Warrior is also just really pressured to build an anti-air, but then doesn't build an anti-air, so not really pressured, and then doesn't attack in. So I guess it works out just fine. I take it all back. Advanced Warrior does have some nice central control here. The Humida is doing really well when it comes to unit count. And then in air war, Advanced Warrior should do better just because the Sonja copters and Sonja bombers are really strong when the super is active against Grimm's units. Especially copter and copter. It's strong. And bomber against anti-air, of course. Humida makes a little bundle of infantry here. Copter out. It's not currently threatening that much. Ooh, we do get the tank plus recon, infantry kills recon. I don't think that's guaranteed for Sonja, especially without a comm tower. Tower back here. Advanced Warrior is ahead in income currently, which is nice. Whoa, okay. Copter goes for the tank hit. I assume we're going to try and cover this so that the anti-air can't get it. And it looks like we do so successfully. So very nice by Humida. The Advanced Warrior does. There's a lot of pressure being put right now in this top right corner. It's definitely time to try and put some more pressure down here. Probably retreat. We don't. We bring the anti-air way back because we don't want it to get absolutely bopped while having it still be able to cover against the copter. And then we also have a copter chain also covering the units for Advanced Warrior. Humida breaks through up here, which means I assume this tank is going to die, otherwise it could come in for revenge. Down it does go. This copter is really sad. The anti-air is... This anti-air is covering this copter, so this guy cannot... Humida's doing a great job. This copter cannot hit this copter. This anti-air barely covers all the sides, so this anti-air would have to be used. The one thing that I think Humida might be I guess underestimating is how scary this push can suddenly become, because it is double artillery with some vehicles and infantry, and this base it's really hard to support. Like this one, it has an airport, and they can kind of help each other. This one doesn't have anything. So if both of these artillery just go like move one turn forward, kind of like trying to cover this capture, and then suddenly shift down here and lock this base, then Humida will be in a ton of trouble out of nowhere. Ooh, okay, so Advanced Warrior goes in to kill this copter and send this copter in, even though it's going to be in anti-air range. Just going to count on the counter break doing some damage. Oh, interesting. So Advanced Warrior stays here to break the pipe seam, find another route to protect the HQ. Still brings one artillery. So at this point, the artillery is doing that thing where it's covering this infantry going for the capture, as well as this tank, I guess. And it's threatening to suddenly lock a base, assuming there's enough backup. Have I ever thought of doing lessons with players that want to get better when I'm doing 1v1 streams? I often, when I'm fighting the 1v1s, provide advice for my opponent, although that might be more... I don't know how good form that is. Ooh, look at that anti-air smack. Very nice. Yeah, I think it would have been better for Humida to just ignore this anti-air. Yeah. Oh no. So this is looking like this is really bad for Humida, because this base is going to be alone against a mixed composition of air and ground. Oh, okay. Advanced Warrior decides not to try and go for a base kill. That's fine. Just gonna swoop into the middle. It does even up the income. Lost a ton of stuff. On that turn, we have a haymaker. Okay. Does break through a ton of infantry and hit the artillery. I don't know about that haymaker, but it did break through here pretty nicely. And then we have the anti-airs covering against the copters now. Don't quite reach. Advanced Warrior is able to clean up. This is a base light map, so once these guys are out of infantry, they're pretty much going to be out of infantry. It will be very hard to resupply them. Humida also broke through the pipe seam. Okay. So on this current board state, Advanced Warrior using the super will also make the medium tank semi-invincible. Gonna go for the double copter sword flank. Ooh. Interesting. Decides to sack a copter to get to the counter break. I don't know if that was... I'm going to assume it was. Hey. Doing a good job. They're getting really punished for not using this anti-air first. You take runs away. Now no more copters. Although both of these anti-airs are very exposed, so there could suddenly be no anti-airs and copter flood. Exactly what we're about to see. So many medium tanks. Yep, and here comes a copter. Again, this base is being put under a lot of pressure. I guess with this pipe scene gone, it's easier to have one base supported the other. Tank goes down. Kills the recon. Kills the artillery. That's pretty nice. That's going to put a very large damper on Advanced Warrior's aggression here, although we're unable to stop the city capture. Okay, that's where it takes the city, taking economic lead. It starts threatening some more cities. There wasn't an anti-air built here, which I'm very surprised by. Those copters, a decent threat. Wow, okay. So Humida attacks in here. He's gonna lose medium tank for sure. Does disrupt this capture. And covers that with a copter. We'll take a tank first strike, but there's still a lot of units for Humida, which is nice. Although this capture is not going through. Maybe this one will. There we get smacked. There's that medium tank. Disrupt both of these captures. Yeah, we take the copter hit over there. Pretty happy. Pick that up here. Trying to get those infantry in wherever you can. It's good. We try and just cut off the reinforcements down here. Okay, we have a knuckle duster used. And there's like, what, 2 attacks left? 1 attack? You do not, no. You do not knuckle duster for a single attack. If you do, it's gotta be a really good attack. You made a busted for win trading at Go7 Stream. Got the counter break. I mean, the counter break's been doing some serious work. Can't deny it. Transporter's got a nice unit count lead and an income lead. Humida's down to 6 infantry, 4 of which are all still on their way to the front lines from this 1B. Well, Advanced Warrior, 7 infantry, several of which are full health and on the front line. You can actually threaten to capture stuff. Oh, Humida runs out of time because this is a live game. Runs out of time with a double base skip. That is very painful. Wow, Advanced Warrior showing just how lucky one can get. With this infantry does 2 damage to a tank move. Very unlikely for Sonja. And against Grimm. Do break through. Copter smacks. We have a knuckle duster this time for more than 1 attack, hopefully. 4, 5, yeah, much better. 6. Oh, but then the missile resign. Day was it day 20? Guess this can make it and hit this. That's pretty good. I mean, the double base skip hurt a lot. But GG, well done, Advanced Warrior. You were definitely in a really good spot there. Might be timer too. GG, well done. Sonja beats Grimm. I didn't think it would happen. Humida had such a strong start too. I know, the infantry had a super gun. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I'll be back on probably Monday to do another one. And then also, I'll do a stream on Halloween. I'm not sure if I'll play a scary game or we'll just do Advanced Wars with spooky music. Let's see. Welcome back, Advanced Warrior. The game just ended. You did really well. I think your early game was probably a bit iffy, but your mid game to late game went amazingly, and you had some. You did get some of those fabled lucky Sonja attacks. GG. Here's an apple. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins, that's his thing.